crush foes. Speak out, bust flows, duck rolls, balance the ups and lows, open windows, shut doors. Pay attention to what grows and what doesn't, what was and what wasn't. Various, what I've been ever since I was born at the commencement. I adorn squash, beans, and corn, lots of strings and horns. Over the beat, swing of a one, outdrum the outcome. The child of athlete is back in action, fact not fashion. Most y'all internet has-beens, more like commercials with whack acting. From commercial to action, I'm laughing back up to laughing. I spit man, God, civilization, John G. Jackson, like a Gatlin, the last dragon. Cosmic memory of an Atlantean. E3 technology is who I am in skin. Walking the landmass is Atlas. Some say I'm batshit crazy, but that's the masses for you. Can you blame the people? Most been trained to be feeble, tame sheeple by the evil who means to keep you cashless in the fastest society. Where the vax and the mass have the blame for the dying street. You the root race, they medieval. Eat the cheap food they feed you or read through these fools. Restorer or rebel. Can't play God unless acquainted with the devil. Polarity you choose, acquainted with its level. Frequency, distance is an illusion. So please unveil the confusion. Look beyond the shadow of the late, a hollow year. See the far and distant lands where tomorrow appears. Put it in perspective. Decision of each being the latest, most accurate vision of peace, where each one teach one to reach one, freeze one from under the trees and stump of the impeached one. Remember, all skin folk are not kinfolk. While I hold a sword in my left hand, I write a pen to pen quotes. Word to see Lord L. I'ma be more hell to these foreigners till they leave our air, land, and seashore and sell their asses right back across that agua. Screw y'all's dishonorable dogma. Something proper with no lube. The past 25 years I've been the son of solitude. The oil that fuse my chakras is cruel. Love my people towards the evils. I'm heartless and rude. Firstborn of Inkle, the dawn of the twinkle. Twinkle little sun, I got Brian I could think to. I blink through a wrinkle in time with Van Winkle and rhyme. And my shit stink too to link you to source. Yes, you rather have AI sink you. I not only know the ledge, I'm on the brink too. They wanna extinct you, your essence is viable. Crimes against humanity, your oppressors liable. They try to write on my recital, yet my presence vital as the session's title. Welcome to the savage cycle. The heart of man is as the sun. The reception order for the divine ray of spiritual intuition descended unto man. The brain of man is as the moon, the source of human intellect. The body of man is the earthly vehicle. Let the sun impregnate the moon, or let the spiritual fire prompt the human intellect. And let the result fructify in the womb of a purified body. And you will develop the son of a son, the quintessence, the stone of the wise, true wisdom, and perfect happiness. I teach you all. The human heart cries out for help. The human soul implores us for deliverance. But we do not hear their cries, for we neither hear nor understand. But the man who hears and understands we call crazy and flee from him. This the call to my ancestors. Rid the land of damn settlers. Turn our signs to hand gestures. Whether we feeling the man's pressure. Some store each clan better. Planting the devil to stand the weather. It's a must we band together. Put that on Abraham and Esther. From Castilians to conquistadors. Iberians, traitorous Moors. Didn't arrive as friends to us, whether as slavers, invaders, or disguised traders. Missionaries, Islamic Christians with dictionaries. No mutual goal to coexist. Those warships in our tributaries. Military tactics to test shores. Foreigners have no respect for. Treaties and oath, I expect more from those who want to conquest except war. They didn't bring women during the invasions. The mindful rape, miscegenations, the spread of mis and disinformation which manufactured the miseducation of the soul. Carter G. Bush, Robert Taylor Holmes, Marcy and Brooklyn, projects and hoods when we were pushed in Cali to Florida. Harley Cushion, it's like the terrorists, never ending shipment of American Indians from Belize to the Caribbean. Gives I shot this sheriff meeting. Shut my field can be read, no book. Flows in my veins were prepared with no hook. Behind the back pass with flair, no look. This beef is rare, get fed, no cook. We're peaceful people, they call us animals. Truth of the matter, they were cannibals. Practice unclean religious rites. Evidence tangible, check the annals. I reheat this beast flammable. Feel free to critique this cannibal. If your brain's deeply manical, release or get treated down. Used to be Hannibal, I talk black hole, fighting a line that cheese back with both that's big muscle drip up to tussle with Uncle Sam, big brother, and his clique. Put that on Abraham and Esther. It's a must, we band together. Blend and the devil just stand the weather. Sun strong, each clan better. Whether we feeling the man's pressure, turn our signs to hand gestures. Rid the land of damn settlers. This is a call to my ancestors.
Some sun in, Papa. Get some of that sun, Papa. Yeah.
Based on real life.
Based on real life.
Nothing like the old school.
Nothing like the old
High vibrations is what it feels like.
Come on, get some of that sun, Papa.
Nothing like the old school.
You need no mic.
This goes way back. Before I was knee deep out in them streets, gangling. Like the old prison and that old crazy mess. This is what really makes me, y'all, at its core. So check it out. I arrived in 1970, August 14th, to be precise, eldest son, firstborn of 5, alive as the Christ. Had sunny days, just like I had spooky nights, which accounts for my old lows and my newly heights. Childhood, not of the norm. Excellence, how I perform. Deep down, I was mad, that's why now I bring the storm. Memorize Psalms and other passages of scriptures after learning the Quran to fend off the jin's whispers. It was like my mother and father tried to hide us from the Pontius Pilates, Heroes, and other outsiders. No celebrating holidays, kept away from ungodly ways of playing games, calling names the cost of what folly pays. I'm saying you wouldn't believe such discipline, wishing to make friends with the neighborhood children. But it was like wish again from early on was taught I was different, not better, just gifted. There's a big difference in telescopes, microscopes, chemistry sets, book smells, paint, carpentry tools, wrote poems not yet known as raps. Learned alphabets and mathematics from my mom. Learned meditation and martial arts from my father. Watched my uncles create music, so I beat drums. Played keyboards with my dad, the guitar he strummed. Didn't consume pork nor beef. I would eat plums, not knowing this was part of who I would become. True story. This is based on real life. It's before all the jail feel nights. The genius within me, the angel of light. High vibrations, it's what it feels like. True story. This is based on real life. This before all the jail feel nights. The genius within me, the angel of life. High vibrations. Now around it feels like 1982 was no longer separated from the outside world off the porch. Yeah, I made it. First noticed her standing in my b-boy stance. Left at the chance and began to break dance on wooden floors.
I think they're changing the chemicals, man.
My man Shabazz Muhammad and Phil G. When I met her on 93rd, next Jeffrey Manor, master of all crews, was written on my banner. The manner of my approach, yo, I rocked her. Roll with backspins, atomic flares, and helicopters, hella proper. Guys that were awesome, tried to get fresh. Up at Basma and on commercial, attempted to test a bus moves on linoleum. Loved her on cardboard, rocked it off on concrete with combinations I had stored. Poured my heart into her around the time I met Dula Yusuf Rashid, Stony Island Park, CVS, school, the battleground, found passion. Another element turned my heart into graffiti, evidence of being present. Taggers united together, network of writers who most times put all-nighters. True riders, 1987, we were kings of the line. Won the epic war with science on the dead rhyme. My guys, Dickie, Tron, advanced planes have advantage. I do this for you and the true TUT clan is the bandits. True story, based on real life. This before all the jail feel nights. The genius within me, the angel of light. High vibrations, that's what it feels like. True story, based on real life. This before all the jail feel nights. The genius within me, the angel of life. High vibrations is what it feels like. I am the great matriarchs, give to America, rare, uncut, sun complected, yet deemed wretched of the earth. Though my old blood's majestic, something shed the most rejected. Nevertheless, check the record of my birth. Never read a book for knowledge of myself. The silence I felt, not from wildness of wealth, but from rawness of my breath. I received meditatively. My mother and father educated me. I author faith creatively. I've walked through a few schools of thought. The truth is art and has no cause, yet the cause of everything. Falsehood is not, yet the manifest of right. Once in darkness comes to light. These words Timothy didn't write, that didn't quite shit well. We're the gang of y'all when it comes to fiction. Hell, truth is stranger, y'all. I came to y'all to bring the fault of a government that's been de facto and the enemy of so-called black folks. I make sure being realistic and admitted housing. We've allowed this shit from go defiant now. Cryptic, y'all complicit in spirit with the metaphors. Metaphysics also makes me America's curse. I'm not in competition with men or women. I'm defending my household from those who are pretending. Garbed and skinned the same as us, taking up the same name as us, who attempt to claim the same rank as us. Y'all be satisfied with societies like Westworld, where Bernard's really Arnold. Dolores is your best girl. Universal soldier, iRobot is now the task force. The vast passport is on its own crash course. With or without y'all, I'ma own my role and bring fire upon them. Fast on my soul, y'all waiting for the Galactic Federation to come save y'all. Another United Nations site out to further enslave y'all.
Cats outside. You're not going out there.
This primordial way I'm gonna tell you about, she has some younger children in a nutshell. One by Marduk, which is known as Marduk in one mythology, which is known as Amun Ra in another mythology, which is known as Yahweh in another mythology, which is known as Zeus in another mythology. She had these younger gods that went to war with her and one of her consorts called Kingu, which was one of her earlier sons and her consorts. She went to war with them, and they went to war with Tiamat, and these primordial gods, this primordial god was defeated by her son, Marduk, Zeus, Amun Ra, or Yahweh, or any of the male deities. So that male deity destroyed the mother principle.
I'm in my own zone, within my own home. I'm in my own throne, my own skin, no clone. On long going in for the wind, ozone, 10 toes strong, closed doors are opening, siphoning, my own tone, microphoning, my own song, on my own right and my own wrong. My own masters, I'm my own master, and dead to my own loan. I'm in my own zone, within my own home.
That's ToLU'S. Boy, this music be ringing with me. Mom, bro, he be hitting me up, man. I'll holler at him again. So anyway, I was looking at let me turn off this fucking notification. Here they go. Here go the knuckleheads, y'all. And my boys, I love them though, but goddamn. Come on, man. We can't make this shit up, bro. And when the notifications come, they come. You hear me? God damn, it's like all of a sudden I don't know what the fuck, smoking crack, or I don't know what it is, man. All right. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This thing wants to act funny. Hold on. It's like, are you serious? No, man. Excuse my language. Anyway, let me turn off these notifications if y'all don't mind. Sit right there. You come right back. Unbelievable, man. Delirious with Snow. What's going on, baby? What's happening? What's going on? I was going to wait for other people to come in. I'm not doing all that. So I was looking for something. It's not pulling it up. Gobekli Temple, which means potbelly, for those who don't know that. Which, that's not the name of it. You know they create a name for everything. And if you know about southeastern Turkey, then you know about it. But yet also in Peru, wow, that just skipped over a whole lot of stuff. It just skipped over a whole lot of. Get all of here, man. Oh, yo, this computer. I think it's.
This video, we're trying something new. We're starting a video series where I travel the world to see cool technology.
I think the computer thinks it's smart or something. You hear me? I really think that it thinks it's smart. I really do. It's just funny to me. Gotta spell it right, y'all. Hold on. Okay. Sultani, ancient tech in Peru and the Göbekli connection. I keep expressing to people because it always loops back. And you got to remember, Atlantis is just a name. Like everything else out here. You want to say Tartaria, I keep telling you that's not the name. That's just, when I was learning about it, that was what was profound as far as, you know, the books in the 70s that I came across after hearing about it in my youth. And there's a lot of people saying they never heard about that from any of family members. Well, I'm fortunate. When I heard it, I went right off the back because I love reading books. I didn't like reading around family. Mama I moved out of my room upstairs and I came back home. I was in the basement because I like the basement. It was big with a big carpet and big queen size bed. And I slept right next to a bookshelf. I could reach over there, turn my lamp on and read any book. If anybody knows me in East Orange, New Jersey, when I was on Washington Ave, all right? In the basement, if you came in, for those who came in there, besides the bathroom, the washing machine, clothesline, Mama never went without clothesline. It was country. But with it was bigger than any room. And it was like a studio apartment, the way it was set up, you know, TV. And the whole back wall in the basement, all right? Washington Street, which called Gardens, on Washington Street, right? Beechwood Gardens. All right, apartment 24, right at the corner. Stairs going out, yeah. Whitney Houston, half brother, John Houston, grew up, anyway. I had some books. Now, it was never nothing about, never said tardy, but it had old world history and a lot of medical books and books on, you know, Webster's dictionary, Thesaurus, all that, and religious document, you know, I'm talking about 1, 2, 6 or 7 shelves of books. So that's, you know what I mean? So whenever people used to be like the Göbekli Tepe, I'm like, yeah, I've been over there in Turkey. But I know I've been to Peru too. And I'm like, I wasn't the same, Göbekli, right? Talks about, you know, all the different names and everything. What people don't know is everything was connected. I keep saying to people, yet people want to keep acting ignorant and arguing and fighting and for nothing. You know, every time I hear a special force operator in the last 20 years, 30 years talking about the kills and everything, I don't see people who are very smart and intelligent. And one of them would, in their way, say, yeah, well, you know, that's a job we had to do. Killing is not a job. Where in the ethics of this world did killing become a job? And I guess because money is fictional and it shouldn't exist, I guess killing is in lieu to being a job. That just shows you the ignorance. And that is not based upon being intelligently smart or fluid or anything. Excuse me, guys, I put on backwards. And it's not for an argument point, because I look for ascension. I look for something other than where we exist. I just wanted to share that first, because even the brightest people, no matter what you read, the smartest, and I'm not saying they're dumb, like with small bus, no. But when you have things and you utilize it because the emotions are, you believe revenge or vendetta is the key, then you're really not paying attention to your history and the sins of the father befall the son. I don't think they're paying attention to that. I think everything is right at the moment. They've forgotten patience, everybody, in time. What goes around comes around. It doesn't matter if it's 8 years, 8 days, 8 minutes, or 18 million or a billion years, it's going to catch up. And there are those who believe like, oh, when it catches up. No. I just wanted to share that. So anyway, we're going to get into reading Exposing the Expositions, 1851 to 1915. And this is Howdy Mikowski's revised 2021 edition from 2019, as y'all know it. And that's, what's the name, jumped up on the table right in front of me, and that's just cayenne pepper. Because the lid was not all the way clasped, and he knocked it over, and I didn't know I had a couple of dribbles of my tea had fell up there. Because he wanted to smell the Gucci berry, and actually he wanted to smell it because it smells good and it's got a sweetness to it. He just jumped on like over the Xbox controls, and I'm like, nigga. And you know me, whoop, I'm like over into this. I didn't hit him. I just, I got to throw him. Well, it wasn't that much. And the thing fell over, and the dribbles of the tea was on there, and he just looked like he was laughing, like, I got you. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, that's the book. Howdy Mikowski, Court of Honors. If you can see it well, my apologies. I know it looks different over there than it does here. All right? And then we'll get into heaven bearers, okay? I'll drink some of this lemon and cayenne pepper water. Oh, damn, that's strong. So we're at Columbia, all right? I need to look at the whole. I'm looking over this one because I'm so used to, let me stop. We're in Columbia. In the middle of the great court was the 65-foot tall statue of the Republic. The Statue of the Republic. In the middle of the great court was a 65-foot tall statue of the Republic. See image on cover or page 9. Now, have any of y'all ever pulled up the picture of the Statue of the Republic? Let me pull it up. Because, as you know, I have a picture. I'm just going to pull it up on here. In Chicago, Illinois. I wonder if our brother went there and took a good look at it. Well, it's not there. That's what I remember. It's not there. Now, why am I pulling this up? Because y'all need to, I want to get a very clear one. I want y'all to see that they changed it, just to let you know. I know it's going to be hard to believe that, but they did. I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna let you see it. I think I'm gonna download it again because the one I have is crappy. I'm attempting to get the best one. If you can find a really, really good one, then pull it up. And I want you to look at it, okay? Well, you can. Because they're comical on what they've done. Because I don't think this is going to be a good one. Let me see if they got a good one. Yeah, no, I could have done it beforehand. You're right here, so just hold on. Hold your horses. Your horsies. I think this one might work. This might work, okay? Excuse me. I actually seen a very good picture of it, but even that was manipulated a little bit. Now, have any of y'all ever seen how it was, what it's set upon? Well, they called it the Statue of the Republic. Okay, let me turn it this way. Yeah, there you go. All right. Now, this right here is not ours. We that was not, they put that there. Okay? And you need to know that. And it still represented a Negro of Europe, but something else. Not human, or not man. I hate that word human. Y'all know that. They put that there. Okay? I've been doing my best to find this picture that I saw in the book where that wasn't there. We're talking about before the World's Fair took off. That was for them. I'm not saying that we didn't have statues that showed different. They destroyed all that. They destroyed stuff on the mountains, and there was no, to get rid of that idolized stuff. When we idolize man is when we make a mistake. Okay? It wasn't there. Anyway, it was given the nickname the Golden Lady. Most believe it was covered with gold leaf, but some speculate it might have been made out of solid gold, made by Daniel French, who used Edith Stokes as his model. Man, this is live right here, brothers. We ain't gimmicks. I'm doing it right here. Which, excuse me. Whew, child. That was a good one. Get it, Pinterest. Bye. I think it's Edith. Yeah, 1D. Edith Stokes. You can look it up, Edith Stokes. See it for yourself. Now, why am I going there? Because it makes you think of Heaven Bearers. Because Edith Stokes didn't design or make crap. Why? Mr. and Mrs. Edith Stokes. Now you might grasp. Now, I'm not saying that the statue didn't exist. I'm telling you that they changed some things. Still had Negroid features, even by the closest one. It's funny how Mr. Stokes, you can barely even see him. Oh, no. Go, pull the picture up yourself. There's only a few pictures. Now, Edith, they have other pictures. For some reason, she looks more real, when Mr. Stokes looks more obscure, more hidden. She didn't make that statue. Okay? This is based on knowledge based upon travel. Okay? Okay, I hate when they have to try and prove something. I'm not proving nothing to nobody. Do your work. Anyway. She didn't make it. Daniel was the one that made it. Either Stokes was supposed to be the model. My apologies, right? But if you look at it real good, I just want y'all to see it again. Okay? This is what they say she looked like. Hold on, I got another picture of her. I can put that one right beside this one. They said they used her for the model. That's not real. I could pull up some of Jack the Ripper's murders, the pictures of the original people, and they look like that. So they have to fulfill everything, right? So let's carry on. But anyway, y'all go look up Daniel French too, okay? And pull him out your sock. The statue stood at the casino end of the Great Basin, looking towards the administration building. That's what they called it. Okay? The statue's right hand held an orb, while an eagle with wings spread, Horus, perched on it. The other hand held a staff with a winding serpent and a plaque with the word liberty, partly obscured by an encircling laurel wreath. We didn't have nothing with no liberty on it. Are you paying attention now? Wasn't even a word, really. It wasn't for people here. Unless you're thinking liberty from something else. You know, we still got idiots believing Egypt is in a certain place when Egypt was a period in time existing everywhere before Tartaria existed. It's funny when people want to hold on and grab something. They want to dismiss something because they dismiss their religion, Islam, Christian, whatever they dismiss. That shows you self-plagiarism and not really, and devaluing the truth of learning and learning and receiving or being receptive of a lesson. This is why I always stay to myself when it comes to sharing knowledge. And then all of a sudden you got a whole bunch of people, they believe they're knowledge sharers, and they don't know the first thing about nothing. It's good to know something. It's good to acquiesce the truth of something. But not everybody's meant to teach anything until they actually grasp a hold of it and look inside themselves to see if they can remember. The majority of people I deal with can't remember nothing. Anywho, I just wanted to make sure you pay attention. If you get this book and you read, look for those key things, those little things that stick out, okay? I mean, a winding serpent and a plaque with the word liberty, and we have Horus. Now, how many of y'all know about the Greek gods that only come from this land as far as the head of the certain bird, a certain jack, certain animals? And yet people still want to talk, Egypt over there in the Sinai, the youngest pyramids on earth, y'all. But they want to talk like they know everything. Anyway, the other hand held a staff with a winding serpent and a plaque with the word liberty, partly obscured by an encircling laurel wreath. Laurel wreath, people. The original gold did not appear on any of the exposed skin of the statue, head, neck, or arms. The statue survived 2 of the fires at the fair, but not the 3rd in 1895 because they probably blew it up. A 1/3 size replica was made in 1918 out of bronze and can be found today in Jackson Park. This new small version is completely gilded, thus no exposed non-golden skin, and the Phrygian cap is not on top of the staff, but draped over it. Why did they not want to make an exact replica is beyond me. I think many people today are fooled thinking the current statue is the original from the fair. What did the original Golden Lady represent? The Statue of the Republic was a statue of Columbia, of ISIS, and the Statue of Liberty, all in one. Who was Columbia? That's something to look into, isn't it? The exposition went by the name Columbian. The name is presented as a way to honor Christopher Columbus, so we know it's a lie. The Explorer. However, the name was not the Columbus Exposition, but the Columbian Exposition. The word Columbia is claimed to have derived in the 1700s out of Christopher Columbus, adding an ia, or ia, to the end. The word has appeared all over the United States, no, America. The capital of the country is in the District of Columbia, which is not a state and technically not in the U.S. We also have Columbia University and the Columbia River. Columbia is not an explorer. She is a mythical female figure wearing an American flag and a Phrygian cap, or Phrygian is what I've always been told, cap, which signified freedom and the pursuit of liberty. She is the American version of ISIS. Columbia is the personification of the United States, and the name has occasionally been proposed as an alternative word for American. Hence, Columbian Exposition can mean American Exposition, or the exposition of the mystical figure of the Americas. A related controversial idea is that the Statue of Liberty in New York has always been in the United States. It has, where it is placed today, on so-named Liberty Island, Starfort Sentry Tower. She sits on top of a giant, very weathered square base, which sits inside of a star fort. I've been there about 100 times. Anyway, the Statue of Liberty, I walked around it until we couldn't, mapping its distance. Anyway, the statue of Liberty was originally perceived as the personification of Columbia as Lady Liberty. 1. I just throw this out there to show how the female statue of Columbia was well seen around the United States in case there is any question that the Statue of Liberty is Columbia. Look at the start of any Columbia motion picture. The statue is right in the center with only the word Columbia, not Columbia Pictures. And then there is a zoom into the light of the torch. The Statue of Liberty is a statue of Columbia, and the statue of the Chicago World Exposition is Columbia. In 1863, a female statue of freedom was placed atop the United States Capitol building. A similar statue was placed above the Memorial Hall at the 1876 Philadelphia exhibition. And yes, the giant golden female statue at the Chicago Exposition in 1893 was fully known by the patrons, though called officially the Statue of the Republic. to be Columbia. By keeping that in mind, more of what was going on here may reveal itself. Manufacturers and Liberal Arts Building. Now I want you to take a look. This is an actual picture. You can pull it up too. Now, if you think they could build that back in the 1800s, boy, you done bump your head on something. Boys couldn't build that over here. While there's lots to explore and present on this fair, we should begin with what hits most in the photographs, the giant gleaming white buildings. I will not provide the detail of every building and area of the exposition. There are many books that do just that, but I will give a basic overview of some of the elements that cause us to ask further questions. So big was the fair, doctors actually gave advice to people as to how to attend it. Dr. Hill Mantle suggested, come to the fair early, avoid exposure to the sun, keep quiet during the heat of the day, and on hot days explore only a limited area. Who the hell would need to know that or go through that if they're from this land? Don't loiter or saunter, but move rapidly from point to point. When examining an exhibit, stand still and take it in with the eyes and not with the feet. For nothing is more fatiguing than the constant shifting of the body's weight from one foot to another. There were 14 great buildings, mostly surrounding a giant lake. This area was known as the Court of Honor. It was simply breathtaking. At one end was a colonnade known as the Peristyle. 3 fountains were at the end, representing the ships of Columbus. And the most magnificent was the manufacturers and liberal arts buildings. And that's the building you just looked upon. The Chicago Tribune remarked in 1893, without underrating the vast treasures of human, and we want to call it humans, industry and art that are collected at Jackson Park, the buildings themselves are the greatest attraction. For vast extent, boldness of conception, wonderful engineering, faultless proportions, and impressive grandeur, the manufacturer's building is easily the greatest of them all. It was not just the biggest building at the fair, but the biggest at the time on the earth. It was 1,650 feet long, almost 6 football fields, people. 600 yards, bro. And covered 30 acres. At the center, it rose to a height of 200 feet. You all have a clue how high 200 feet is? Half the height of the Great Pyramid. The roof was supported on gigantic steel trusses, which spanned the entire width. 8 domes were found on either side of 80 feet high entranceways. Externals of the building were in the Corinthian style of architecture with many columns and arches. It was ornamented with female statues to symbolize the arts and sciences. There were 4 entrances. Each building being, 10 feet wide and 80 feet high, and on top was an 18-foot tall eagle. Outside, the building was lit by 10,000 electric lights, suggested by some to be more than existed in all of New York City at the time. If you think they came here and built that, and yet our people repaired the Reconstruction era, was our people still in control, repairing and rebuilding everything that we had wrought to destroy. Yes, we did. Nobody else. No Mongol, no slight. No Mongol, no Spanish, nobody. And we rebuilt it because it was we who built it. I don't have to go to Santos Bonacci and 100 other individuals, okay? And the great-great-uncles used to say it's all ours. So I think they knew what they was talking about. Being born in the mid 1800s, well, around the time they were in the teens when they fought in the Civil War. Or tweens, whatever you want to call that. If you knew your great uncles who lived to be 114 or 15, up into the 60s, 70s? Please chime in. Let me know. Share some of your stories. I know they had a lot to tell you. And we can share our stories. Okay? Heaven Bearers, The Great Reset of 1834 and the Mud Flood by Janine Helen. One I got to meet because my grandmother made sure we knew him. The other one I was introduced to when I was hungry. And he pulled me and about several other old heads of ours in North Carolina aside, and he shared some wisdom to us. I don't know what was going on, but somebody knew something. So Janine Helen with her Heaven Bearers, The Great Reset of 1834 and the Mud Flood. Okay? And there she is, as I always show, in South Africa. And that is something. When I tell y'all that Africa had buildings, I heard somebody say something on somebody's video. Yeah, they ain't have nothing in Africa. Still calling it Africa. You know, people only express the level of knowledge they have. But the dissidence is remarkable. So yes, we speak with what we know. But some people have a problem with correction. I don't bother with them after that until they come around. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into this. Because you know Bonnie's about to get busy. She about to get grizzy. A tsunami of emotion floods over her, and she is grasping and gasping for air. She calms her thoughts, and she is suddenly back in the river, and the water is touching her this time. She swims along with the current until she sees Malcolm. Remember, it had left her in like Moses type, staff, rod, water split. Well, anyway, a tsunami of emotions floods over her, and she is gasping for air. She calms her thoughts, and she is suddenly back in the river, and the water is touching her this time. She swims along with the current until she sees Malcolm waiting at the edge of the river for her to where she needs to go. And she reaches out her hand for him to grab hold of her. His grip is strong, and he yanks her hard and out of the water. He pulls her up close to him and holds her in his arms. She is cold and completely naked. He tries to cover her with his arms as best as he can. She looks up into his eyes, and they are hollow. It is not Malcolm, but merely a shell of him, his soul. He is missing. Malcolm, she pushes him away from her, and he crumbles into a heap of dust in front of her, exactly the way he is supposed to if she killed him. Bonnie is growing tired of the games, and she lays her hands on her stomach, and she can feel her baby's growing weary and impatient too. She knows she has to leave this place and find Cassiel. But how? She calls out to the universe, or Mother Nature, to anyone that will just listen and let her leave the underneath and get back to Malcolm and Henry. I come in peace. You can sense my true intentions. Please show me the way and let me leave. I need to find Cassiel. Will you show me? There is nothing but more silence. Please, she whispers. She looks around and everything has gone completely pitch black. A single blue butterfly appears and suddenly flies up to her and lands on her shoulder. It makes a sound that she doesn't understand, but it sounds like a trumpet of hope and power. It grows large suddenly, 3 times the size of her, and she climbs onto it. She is no longer naked, but wearing a tight-fitting blue dress with long sleeves and golden coat. The colors of the Tartarian Empire. The butterfly proudly announces and takes off. You heard that? Tight-fitting blue dress with long sleeve and golden coat, like blue and yellow, but it was gold and blue. Make you think about a certain war, Ukraine, the perversion of a gay man who plays the president, pawn to help subjugate the individuals betwixt the agenda that's being fulfilled. They are not moving. While the sun starts to rise, the colors of the Tartarian Empire, the butterfly proudly announces and takes off. while the sun starts to rise and the sky turns a soft blue. They are not moving, but the breeze on her face tells her that they are, and millions of small blue butterflies appear all around her. She looks down at her arms, and she is holding her 2 newborn babies. They are each wrapped in golden blankets and are fast asleep. They are absolutely perfect. I name you Amil and Amelia, she says, and smiles with her heart bursting with pride. They arrive at the top of a snowy mountain, and the butterfly sets her down gently. It hovers for a moment, sound like some Mothra stuff, right? Hovers for a moment, and then it flies away, together with all of the other butterflies in perfect harmony. Mothra? Mother, where are we going? A timid little voice asks. Startled and confused, Bonnie looks down and realizes that she is holding each of their little hands in hers. They are already 5 years old, and she wonders where the time has gone. They look like her. Their hair is golden blonde with small curls, and their eyes as blue as the bluest ocean. Malcolm, where's Malcolm? She asks the universe in that moment, and she can feel a presence behind her. Her body doesn't tense up, and she knows it is not an enemy, but a friend, a lost soul that she needs to reunite with. Cassiel? She turns around to face him, and fate shows her what was supposed to be. She was supposed to be his. She is dressed in a gold-colored gown, which is covered in crystals and pearls, and she sees him waiting for her with his hand stretched out. Come, he says gently, and she follows the sound of his voice without any doubt or concern. He is standing in front of the tree of life, and she knows her destiny was him. He was to be her husband, and they were to rule the empire together after King Finn and Queen Ariella. She smiles at him, but stops walking down the aisle. I am sorry, Cassiel. This was destiny, but it is no more, she tells him, and slips the ring off of her finger and lays it down gently onto the floor at her feet. He smiles that he understands, nods in approval, and she runs as fast as she can to go and find Malcolm. She arrives in a medium-sized town, walks straight into the town square, and there are thousands of people gathered waiting for her. She walks up to the stairs to the balcony and gazes at the view of all the Tartarians who came to see her. My name is Daphne, and I'm looking for my husband. Where is he? She asks the crowd. A man appears from the middle of the crowd and stops in front of the balcony and looks up towards her. He looks like Malcolm and starts to grin at the sight of her. I am your true husband, according to destiny, he replies, but his eyes are not green. They are hazel brown. She walks down towards him and touches his face. Destiny abandoned us a very long time ago. Now take me to him, she orders. He leads her into a city of over 1 million people. That is just down the valley from the town she was in. They have built this city in the middle of uninhabitable plain of ice and snow, and it defies all logic. There is a big star fort at the entrance, and free energy flows around them and lights up the entire area. It is freezing cold, and there is ice and thick snow everywhere, but she is warm. Is this what it was like before they came? Is this the old world? Her eyes trace in awe and amazement. Yes, many of us have retained our way of life here, and they can't find or harm us. The snow hides us well and protects us, he replies in response to the question. But they will find you eventually. You can't hide forever, she replies, and bends down to touch the snow. It is cold to the touch, but she can hold it without it hurting her hand. Yes, at some point our luck will run out. But it won't be today, he says, and guides her to a red-faced brick 5-story building. Sounds like Brick City. It reminds her of the hotel she stayed in when she was in New York with Malcolm. It has the same fine details, and she can appreciate and admire the superb workmanship of those who built it. It is just a breathtaking. It is just as breathtaking inside as it is on the outside. It is decorated with gold ornaments, and the staircase is made out of marble. This is how we conduct the free energy that we harness from Mother Nature, he says, and points to the gold ornaments that are strategically placed above them on the ceiling and roof. There is an organ above a fireplace, and she chuckles at the sight of it. That metal thing with all the pipes, what is that? She asks eagerly, and her eyes burn with fire. We use that to harness the free energy. Everything has a frequency. It is what gives everything its shape, just like a snowflake. Change the frequency, and the shape will change too. The organ sends out the right frequency for all the different types of free energy. For example, there's a certain energy that will create electricity, but we use a completely different one for heat and to regulate the temperature. Do you understand? He asks her. We're going to stop right there. That's it's going to get. It's already getting. That'll give y'all some insight to some things. It's funny how so many things are reminiscent to something that may be plausibly a fact, right? Yeah. I told you about where I lived at. The fireplace didn't have no chimney. Well, it had to be put in. And it didn't. It had two little empty spaces behind it, like with two balls, and it had these prongs in the bottom. To which Papa had to put a thing in there, and he had to do some work. And before the furnace, this big thing that looked like, you remember Frankenberry from the poisonous cereal? That's the kind of furnace with asbestos and this thing with the oil coming in, which was cool at first. But the fireplace was still magnificent. You hear me? I grew up with fireplaces, yet they weren't always fireplaces. Because I used to be the one to go in and want to sweep and look. And I remember in all of them, they would have these little, like something you could put in, like stick in the ground. 3 or 4 prongs. And in the back was this little concave curvature, like you could put a ball in 2 places. And I used to stand in, yeah. So I remember these things. So I appreciate y'all taking the time to listen. I'm going to sit here and gobble up my sandwich. And I'm going to listen to this ex-Delta Force mercenary, otherwise known as the Green Reaper, listen to his story. And I may come back around 5:30, 6 o'clock, and I'll read a little bit more of Mr. William Cooper, because we really need to catch up. They always attempt to throw a hamper and stuff, and because it says uninterrupted truth, I don't think they get it. I think in their little humor, they think they're interrupting something. No, not interrupting nothing. They're interrupting themselves. Anyway, I appreciate you. Who all came in? Because I haven't seen no chat for the first. I gotta hit the live chat. Maybach. Hey, Maybach, what's going on, Phil? They caused the mud flood to cover up Tartaria architectures. Well, they did. It was a mud flood was more than that, because there were places that was buried under 300 or 400 feet of mud. Oh, this is factual. The mud flood in a lot of places was actually man-made. We had hoses and power ways of pumping that water, and what they call dredging, dredging at sea means removing dirt and stuff to build something. But at the top, when you gold mine and use power, if you do it at a certain mountain area, you can flood, you can create an avalanche of mud as long as you have enough for it to release. And many dams that we had were broken, and they would flood our cities, and they would cover towns, trains, and everything that they did not know how to operate. When Martin Luther King says we're going to get our checkers, because we showed them how to operate the trains here. We showed them how to repair buildings. We taught them much, much, much stuff. There was no education system. '66 was when that really became a thing. You know, I'm well versed on Tartary, well versed. But yes, Mr. C, what's going on, beloveds? What's happening? Delusions, I got you. I don't know. I guess people didn't want to come in and say, hi, how are y'all doing? And share in that wonder. Emotions are destruction about people, and feelings as well. I'm not saying feelings and a certain kind of emotion doesn't exist or shouldn't exist. I am saying what they have been given and labeled emotions or feelings are lies. They're the dredge of who we are, you know. I study languages. I study people. I study the earth we live in. I look at all the things. They have people they consider professionals who have been doing this based on their secrets, old world history. That's why it's important to look deep inside yourself and remember things. You can remember. And that's why I can't force anything on anybody. That's why I read. Maybe something I read might jar you. You know what I mean? It might cause a memory. Yeah. It's not about being wrong or right. It's about letting the mind freely flow creatively without their input, their manipulation. You know what I mean? When I see something I know it's, regardless of if it's truth to it, I don't want to feed it energy. I turn it off. I don't listen to it. I let it go. I never allow myself functionally to even give it a thought. But no, I'm not doing that. Some people say, well, maybe you're turning off something that might be, when the time comes that I have to negate rationalizing something what I know is based on a negative, that's not basing on you coming up out of the world of the construct of fabrication, the lies, then I'll go back if I can address it. If I can't address it, it's not for me. Maybe somebody else. I may hear somebody else who was more capable of dealing with that predicament. I'm no super wonder. I know what I'm capable of. I know what I do. I know what I'm capable of. Like in another, you know what I'm saying? And when I say lighting candles and stuff, that's a precursor to a lot more stuff. All right, burning hair. There's a reason. There's a frequency to all of that. I speak things into truth, and I know I don't have to believe in it. I know. Like I said, somebody came to me, man, all them suicides when you did that, they jumped up like 50%. I said, it ain't done until they correct themselves. Doesn't matter what new individuals. I don't care about the agenda. They don't mind, they keep going. But it comes back to the root of those who created it. That's when you started to see some changes in certain people's attitudes. And I was watching, look, did I stop? No, I haven't lifted it. I'm not going to lift it. No, we're in that age. Y'all say Aquarius and all this other crap. No, we're not, none of that. We're in this age of things being revealed, where it's open. I said that, and I said it a couple of months ago. They're revealing it right in your face. You need to reveal yourself to you. You need to look in the mirror, look at yourself, eye-to-eye contact with your partner. You need to go outside and ground, get out down to your drawers, find a new beach, lay your butt out there, enjoy the sand, get the fleas and the sand crabs, let them flip, whatever. I can't wait to get to Tucson and get to welding and bringing in steel and grinding, because when you come into the place I'm going to build, there won't be no crap sprayed in the walls to keep it warm. It will be low enough with the ambient temperature of the earth and wood. You think I'm going to kill a tree to make a floor? There's ways to make things for you to move on where it's not compromising and you're not harming anything. And on that frequency alone, no matter what they're doing around, no bugs will want to come in there because there's an order. They know their place. But when there's confusion even in the bugs, man, you get where I'm coming from? I mean, what well and dolphin wants to come about the water and all that grand billions of acres of water, and tons of water and come up on a beach? They're coming to be rescued. They need somebody to go in the ocean and stop those vessels that are pinging sonar and thermonuclear weapons and other energy and other crap in the water. They're coming up saying we can't take this. But because the people here are so, you know what I mean? They don't know that. And there are other things in the ocean too. And they're pretty pissed. Anyway, let me get over here. Like I said, 5:30, 6 o'clock. We'll come back and break out a little bit of William Cooper. I don't know if I'm gonna read the Negro Project right now. We might get into a little bit of it. I'm going to get back into Sacred Secretion because I like to read certain parts of that. Baby Girl Slaughter's reading it. I would advise y'all to check it out for those who haven't. We're supposed to be supporting each other. I have no hatred towards anybody. I'm still going to support everybody. I just don't like ignorance. There seems to be more an abundance of that. And I know the walk has to be purposeful. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know it has to be purposeful. Now on TikTok, just to let y'all know, I'm going to read this. I am going to start reading by Dolores Cannon, The Custodians, over on TikTok. All right? That's it. I'm going to go over there, put aside an hour, maybe 2, read, and then respond to questions. Not as if I have all these answers. No. I'll respond to them as far as the read. But that's about it. All right? Somebody unsubscribe. Whoop the poopity do. My loss. It might be an agent who is sitting here doing their best to destroy the channel because there's a few of them here. Right?